Today we are back in Cities Skylines 2 and we are in the city of Clifford. So you join me as I am trying to get ourselves out of an economic crisis. We are losing so much money per month and I don't really know how to fix it. And by the end of this episode we're still losing money each month, but just slightly less money each month. Anyway, I decided to keep going. Not worry about it too much and only focus on it when it actually becomes a problem. So I did shut down quite a few bus lines or reduce the buses on them because they just weren't being used. So I reduced most of them down to one bus, or the minimum it would let me go. I'm also rezoning some of the areas because of there was demand for not what I'd zoned there and for other zoning types, but in hopes that someone would move in and increase my tax revenue, but it didn't really work. I'm just adding a new industrial zone here because we had loads of demand for industrial. I'm just expanding this residential area here. I then played with some of the service fees again, but it didn't really do much. And I was just looking at some traffic problems. I noticed that everyone was going through this road, which was not what I planned. They're all filtering down into one lane. So I removed the road and now they go on the main road where they're supposed to. I'm also shutting down half the car parks because what I didn't realise when I built these was that they use so much money. So I shut them all down because we've got plenty of parking on the road. It's more of an aesthetic thing I thought the car parks would bring, but it's fine. So this is what I was talking about. I deleted that bit of road so they wouldn't all go down there. And I was just having a look at all the different vehicles and seeing if all the services were coping with demand given that I'd reduced all their budgets. But they did seem to be, so I think that was one of the reasons we're in losing so much money. I think it was because the services were being paid way too much for the tax revenue which we were bringing in and the population of the city. I'm just fixing some of the terraforming issues which we were having here. The game does glitch a bit here. I don't quite know why that is. I was having a bit of troubles with the game today. But anyway, I was just smoothing out some of the terrain because I thought it looked quite ugly. And building on hills in Cities Skylines 2 is so hard. It has not improved since the first game at all, and to be honest, I think it's probably got worse. None of them self-level or anything, and the ones which do self-level, they just end up having massive walls down to each other. Like, when I saw the trailers, I thought they would automatically have concrete walls, which look a lot smarter, but no, they're all just bits of dirt. So what I actually did is I removed the bit to the right of that road and I just smoothed out all the terrain because it just looks so ugly. So I removed the zoning and then I'm just gonna smooth it all out because just look how ugly that was looking. And then I did it quite big just to get it to work properly and not look completely out of place. And then I did the same around the sides of all this residential zoning. It was quite hard to do it there because it just kept doing it in that top left corner, but there's still a bit there, but I think it looks a lot better. And this is what we're looking at so far. I think this suburb is coming out quite good, so I decided to expand it. So I'm coming off this roundabout here, and this one's not going to be a grid at all, it's just going to be some curvy roads which go around each other. These two roads are going to meet up in a loop, and then I bring a third road round and then goes through that junction in the middle, where I had a roundabout in a bit. There was still a bit of a mountain left over from some of the terraforming, so I do delete that bit of road and do it again because I just do not like zoning on these hills. So delete it and then build the road again. And later in this episode we plan out the whole main city centre and where that's going to be. That's going to be in the top left of this suburb, and I leveled it all out because I just don't like using slopes in Cities Skylines 2, especially at the current state the game is in. And the plan is for the next few episodes to go into that area and build up a proper city, because at the moment we've just got little conjoined towns which don't really fit together. So the main purpose of that is to bring the whole build together. So I'm just buying the land now. I was looking the best place to do it. I decided to go in the top left of the suburb, as I say. Also, we've got a railway line here, so that'll be useful later on. So basically the main area of those trees is the main area of the suburb. So I used all the land permits which we've got. I was just having another look at our finances here. It's not looking good at all. There's not much I can do. I just decided to lower taxes anyway because we were having problems where not enough zoning was actually coming because no one wanted to move in because the taxes were way too high. But then I had to make the taxes high to sustain all these services, and yet the happiness is actually not that good, so I don't really know what the problem is. I will have a better look at that next episode. Hopefully it's not that hard to do. I know I said that last week and it is, but I have looked. I don't really know what the problem is. I don't know if it's just a few glitches in the game of services charging way too much or what. I was just removing all the trees here so I could see the contour lines, and we're going to build over them anyway in the next few episodes, so I don't really see that it mattered too much. So I'm just choosing a height to go with, and then I flatten all the terrain out here, and then I obviously smooth the outsides. And by the river I decided to go right up to the train track, and we can sort the height of the train track out later. By that I mean in the next few episodes. The river, I accidentally went into the river, so I had to fix it all up, and I'm just adding these two roads to link here, and I'm adding a roundabout because I think that once we build the city, that is going to be quite a heavy traffic area. And then I'm just smoothing the ends of the flattened area here, and then I'm going to slope it in a minute. I used the wrong train mode though, and I pull up the train instead of height, instead of sloping it, so here, but I just fix it by just doing a slope over it. Then obviously I smooth the sides of the ramp and then build a straight road up it. So here's the road, and then down to the main road there. So I think it looks quite good with what we've done so far. Thanks again for watching. Join me in 2 weeks' time for the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss that. Thanks again. Goodbye.